Hi, this is Aaron at Classic Vacuum. I'm here today with a video about how to change the handle on a Mighty Pro X3 Rug Doctor machine. You can find the model number of your Rug Doctor here on the back of it on a sticker. You can see this is an MP-C3. We've already inspected our machine. We found the handle was bad. On this particular machine, we had some wires get melted and exposed. Either this is an older machine, so maybe somebody had this apart, they got crushed or not. You know, this handle is difficult because everything has to be in its perfect space when you put it back together. And that's why we sell a lot of handle kits, because unless you're doing something real simple, just change it all. So to catch you up on what we've done thus far, to remove the handle, we took out this piece here and just get a plier or nut driver on both sides and unscrew it. Be careful this doesn't break, but typically it doesn't. This is not included in the handle kit. When we took this handle apart for our inspection purposes, to get the handle apart, there's a lot of screws you can see in the back. Take all those out. These little pieces are going to fall out of the handle. They're just strain reliefs. They go on the pivot point where the axle goes through the hinge. There's two hidden screws under the sticker. And then there's a nut there with a little screw here on the front. So you need to undo that, which is connected to this piece here. So that's going to get your handle apart, help you troubleshoot it. Again, we've already troubleshot this. We know the handle is our problem. So the next step, we just need to wire in our new handle kit. Handle kit is going to have everything you need, including the cord. It's definitely the way to go because it just has it all. And again, this is really hard to get apart and back together. The handle kit also comes with a standard 3-wire plug. This is what they use on the commercial machines. The original kits do have a GFCI plug. I strongly prefer just a regular heavy-duty 3-wire plug. This is, in my opinion, the better option, as long as you and your Rug Doctor aren't going to get into the bathtub together. So I'll remove the front tank to get it out of the way. And then we're going to just get a big pair of pliers, and that's just, we should be able to squeeze and pull this out. Brandon, go ahead and look in there. Can you see it? This is the fitting we're taking out. We do have some slack in there. If you can't pull it out, you may be able to get in there and push it out. I'm going to pull it out because I feel like it gives me more room to work. It is a pretty tight fitting, so you may have to push and pull. You have to phone a friend. So I'm just going to squeeze this with a big pair of pliers and pull it out. That went pretty easy. Looking at my kit here, I am going to need this again. I'm not going to have one of these. Next thing I have to do, I need to undo all these wires. Looking at where those wires go, they go up here in the top. We're going to take some screws out to get under our motor cover. Three in the front. All these screws are the same length. Now we are a little limited because our hoses are still connected inside. So you can go ahead and undo these hoses if you want to give yourself more room. Otherwise, we can sneak in here and get at this without taking off the hoses as well. You can see this is our kind of jumbled mess here. If you look right here, I was able to get in between there and pry this. zip tie off if you want to try to save this. All right, now that my wires are loose, you can look in from the top. There is just a wire strainer leaf. We'll have to undo that screw right there. We had a screw and a washer and a lock washer. Pull that off now so we don't lose it. I'm going to undo our connections. And really the best way to undo your connections is just with a pair of pliers and squeeze them. It can prevent you from having to cut the wires. Just kind of find the flat side and push down a little bit. We're going to replace those with the screw type wire nuts. So let's see if there's anything fancy here. We got black to black, green to green, red to orange. And if you're unsure, you'll remember, take a picture. All right, and then we got blue to white to black of motor, suction motor. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this out. I'm going to leave the white and black, and I'm going to wire nut those now, just save them for later. So I can remember blue goes to white and black, red and orange, and then we have our greens and we have our blacks. So just to review, we had blue to the white and black to motor. We have green to green. We got red to orange. Got black to black. I got one more. I got a white to a black. This white is black to the bottom there. That's your brush motor and your pump. So now I'm going to mark this white to black connection with a wire nut. Picture's great, diagrams great, and then you can't really see, but there's a hole down in there, and we're pulling it through that hole into this lower area, and then once we're through there, we can feed it through the hole, and we're done. One thing that's worth waiting and noting is we can use this as a guide to know how long to clamp our wire. That'll be the last thing we do, but save this. Don't cut it up or throw it away. All right, we got our new Mighty Pro X3 handle here, and we really only got to worry about this wire. I got them twisted together here just to make it easier to get it through, and it looks like the colors are all the same. That's good. So I'm going to feed this in here. I don't really care about how much, I just need enough. A little extra to get through. Now that I have it through, I'm going to find that hole that feeds it up through here. And my wires, they weren't staying together too well, so I used some electrical tape to wrap them up. Let's see if that does any better. That was easy once I wrapped them up in the electrical tape. Now we'll work backwards. It was white to black with wire nut. This is a little long for the type of wire nut I'm using, so I'm going to trim these wires down a little bit. Anytime you're doing wire nuts, give them a little tug. Make sure they're tight. Next, we had the 3-guy, the blue to the white and black. I'm going to use a little larger wire nut for that. Well, you can see the lengths are not the same, so again, I'm going to trim them. It's important to make sure you don't have any little pieces of wire sticking out of the side. You could short something out. And then give each wire individually a little tug. So blue is good, white is good, black is good. Orange and red. Nice and tight, no bare copper. Greens. Those are all tight. And last, we have this hidden black. Keeps flopping off to the side here. Now, one thing that's always good to do is you always want to check as you go. So before we put it back together, let's see if it'll even turn on. I'm going to start with making sure my switch is in the middle off position, and I can feel that it is. So when I plug it in, nothing should happen. And that's good, nothing happened. I have two on offs. I have an on that'll run the suction motor and an on that'll run the pump. It's important to make sure nothing is in this motor that could get caught up in it. So there I heard the suction motor. Next I'll see if the suction motor and pump runs. All right, I heard the suction motor and the pump. So now I'm going to test. I'm going to put it into the carpet position, and I'm going to see if this red button runs the pump and the brush. Now it's hard to tell, but I could feel the pump was running when I pressed the red button. It's hard to hear and feel because this brush is so loud, but I can tell that the red switch is doing what it's supposed to do, which is in carpet mode. You press the red switch, it powers the pump and the brush. Next, we're going to just put the handle on. That way we can get a feel for our wire length. Make sure your plunger is going good into the striker plate. It's actually I think probably the striker bar and the striker plate. If that's not sticking out enough, it can be screwed in or out. So if you need longer or shorter, take this off now. It's your time to adjust it. Ours looks good. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this. It looks like 7/16 does the trick. And it will be loose. It won't be super tight to draw it in because you'll hit the end of this acorn nut. So if you keep wrenching on it super duper tight, you'll break it. So just moderately tight. So I'm going to look at our old handle assembly here. I'm going to look at about how long it's going to take till we get to the indent. And it looks like we're about right there. So I'm not going to lock it in yet. I just want to be in the ballpark. We've got full range of motion here. And we don't overly, it's not overly stressing the wire. So I think we're good where we're at. I'll tip it down so you can see. The main strain relief is this. This is more just to hold them in place. This is going down and around that motor. And just do your best to get everything tucked in. All right, now we can put our top on. And everything should go together pretty easy. All right, we had 2 in the back, 3 in the front. All right, we'll put it back together, give it a test, and then we'll be good to go. One little side note, here's the part from the old handle, just to show you how it works. If you screw it in, it gets longer. If you go the other way, it gets shorter. So that's how you can adjust. And this is obviously in the handle, so you can just get in there with pliers and give it a couple spins. I'll take it apart real quick so you can see what's under here. That's all it is. So that's how your adjustment will work. The last thing we have to do is put on the strain relief. So we got a good amount here. I'm going to pull it out a little bit because we're going to push it in. There's a definite track you have to get this into, and then you want to squeeze it first to get a good bite into the plastic. Bigger pliers make it easier. And now once we get a bite into it, we can work it in, squeeze and push. And it's important that this not be overly stressed. Thank you for watching my video on how to change the handle assembly on your Rug Doctor Mighty Pro X3. We sell them in our online store. You can find the link below to the handle. If I missed something or you have any questions, leave a comment below. And if you're stuck, give me a call. We can help you out any way we can. Thanks again. You guys have a great day.